Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of What's That Whiskey here on Drums and Drams. My name's Cameron and today I am batch filming episodes of What's That Whiskey for the channel. So I just got done filming last week's video, and if you haven't seen it already, you should go back and watch it. But if you have seen it, you know that I did terribly in that one. I could not figure out between the two glasses I had what I was dealing with. And so in this video, which I'm filming immediately after the fact, I'm hoping I can redeem myself. I'm trying to give myself a little easier chance at redemption here with only one sample. This one was sent in by my friend Jesse, so thank you Jesse for sending this my way. This is sample 14. I just randomly picked this out of the box that Jesse sent to me. I'm gonna nose, taste, and blindly review this whiskey. You guys know how this works. You're gonna find out before I do along the bottom of the screen what is in my glass. After the full blind review, I'm then gonna lock in a few guesses at the end, do the reveal for myself, do a quick debrief, what I got wrong, what I got right, maybe more right this time, let's hope, and then we'll get you on your way. So let's check out now sample 14 from Jesse. This is the redemption arc right here. Here we go, on the nose. All right, so I'm hoping this is a little more straightforward. It feels that way on the nose. This feels like a low proof rye whiskey. I would almost just say right away that it feels like 95.5 MGP. But I know that early guesses in these videos can kind of get me in trouble sometimes. So no guesses here at the outset, but I do want to say that this feels simultaneously young and old on the nose. And what I mean by that is that I'm picking up some younger rye characteristics. In particular, this is very herbal, very green feeling on the nose. Lots of like mintiness, pine, a little bit of dill actually on the nose of this one. At the same time, it has this kind of depth to it. It has sort of more well-developed notes underneath those top rye notes that I'm getting. And so I could see this going a lot of different ways. I could see this being a young rye whiskey masquerading as an old rye whiskey. I could see this being kind of a mid-range. I could see this being a blend of young and old within a single expression. Like, I think this could, as far as age is concerned, be all over the place. But the one thing that means to me is that this is a complex whiskey. So when I'm picking up kind of these, I don't know, divergent things on the nose as far as the age goes, what that's actually doing is providing a complex experience and layers to the whiskey. And so whenever I'm evaluating a whiskey for, you know, whether I personally like it, which is pretty subjective, or whether I think others might like it, even if I don't, which I would consider to be objective, I try to have complexity be one of those deciding factors in my assessment. So let's go back to the nose now and keep digging in here. Yeah, look, I mean, this has like really, really well-developed vanillas and caramels to it, and that is not a common thing for a young MGP rye. So actually, you know, I'm gonna assume that this is probably a little bit of an older whiskey. Again, the proof is not that high. This feels maybe like sub 100 proof, and age-wise, I am gonna think that this is maybe between 10 to 14 years old. Like, it really carries with it a nicely developed profile. And as much as I want to say something like, you know, oh, it's a blend of young and old, I think it's probably just an old rye whiskey. It smells really nice. So let's just go to the palate now. I hope I'm on the right track here. So here we go, guys. Cheers. All right, so this is really delicious on the palate. Up front, you do get hit by that rye spice, but right after that, I'm getting like cinnamon roll notes. I actually have goosebumps. Like, I'm in a hoodie right now, which, by the way, shameless plug, we've got some merch coming up on the channel, but I'm hit with that rye spice, but then I get these cinnamon roll and vanilla and caramel notes, very, very desserty in the mid palate. And then as it rolls back into the finish, the rye spice starts to come through again. It's a little more peppery this time, also a little bit more herbal and less dill. And now that we're into the finish, I'm getting like a little bit of this aged but sweet oak note in the finish. It's tough, like on the nose, I think this could have went a lot of different ways, but the palate, the palate just, like, it's got a crystal clear voice. That's what I want to say. A whiskey like this kind of knows what it is, and it demonstrates that to you clearly, especially on the palate. The nose a little more all over the place, but I love when a whiskey it's just like unabashedly itself. And I know that's so, I'm personifying the whiskey too much there, but I do really like this on the palate. So let's go in for one more sip, then we're gonna lock some guesses in and do the big reveal. Yeah, so I really think this is a fantastic rye whiskey. This is a highly recommended pour, whatever is in this glass. I do think it's probably an MGP rye. I do think I do think it's lower proof. I do think people might complain that the proof is a little bit too low for them. For me, this is delicate, it's elegant. These are words I would use to describe it, all the while maintaining its spicy rye character in the midst of well-developed caramels, vanillas. Actually, some caramelized citrus notes are coming to the forefront on that second sip. I really, really like this stuff. So let's lock in a few guesses now. I'm gonna say this is a 12-year rye whiskey. I'm gonna say the proof on this is 103. It's a weird guess. Part of me would just say 92, call this a bullet 12-year rye and be on my way. But I'm gonna say it's 103 proof. I'm gonna say this is an MGP 95.5. I don't think it's finished. And I think that's gonna do it. I think those are all of the guesses that I need. So let's do the big reveal now out of this reveal card. All right, here we go. Big reveal. Hey, you know what? I will take this. I will absolutely take this. So this is an MGP 95.5 rye. Templeton 10-year single barrel rye. My weird guess of 103 on the proof was a pretty good guess. It was 104 on the proof. It's a 10-year rye. All right, so age-wise, close. And it's funny because this Templeton has a little more youth than I remember, on the nose, that is. Like when I was saying that it could be kind of an older or younger, the palate didn't say that to me, but the nose did. And it's interesting because I don't remember Templeton quite being that way on the nose. But what's funny is that at the very end of the last sip, I mentioned that I'm starting to get those caramelized citrus notes. And when I say that, I'm usually talking about caramelized orange, right? That is one of the defining characters of the Templeton 10-year. It's a bottle that I used to always have on my shelf. Nowadays, I've got one. It's in the basement. It's kind of, you know, on the backup shelf, out of the way of this room, but still a really fantastic bottle and a great value for what it is. But that caramelized orange note was always something that drew me to the Templeton 10-year, even though they are all single barrels. They're gonna vary a little bit, but I always found that note amongst them. So 95.5 is correct, MGP is correct, age very close, proof pretty much spot on. I'm gonna give myself the green, the green points for that one. And so this was a pretty successful episode. The redemption arc is completed, and now if I film another one of these tonight, you know, it's gonna be a toss-up whether I do good or bad, but at least I got this one in the can. That's gonna do it, guys. Thank you, Jesse. Let me know how I did. Like, comment, subscribe. Cheers, and I'll see you guys next time here on Drums and Drams.